Happy day 15. We are going to continue some of the shoulder work from yesterday. We'll start with a seated warm-up and then use your resistance band again or yoga strap if you don't have a resistance band. So just come to a tall seat and hands can be resting on your lap. Boone, you got to go lay down. And we're just going to take a couple cat-cows from this position. So you're rounding your spine back and then bringing your breastbone forward and swinging your tailbone back. And just go a couple times using your hands for a little bit of support. And then we'll keep that arched back position, tucking your tailbone underneath you. Take a full round of breath in and out. And then bring the breastbone forward and take another full round of breath in and out. Good. And then coming more neutral. From here, we'll walk the feet wide apart and you'll glue one hand to your inner knee, sweep the other hand up to the ceiling. Option to follow your hand with your gaze, reach as high as you can, and then a little side bend, letting your bottom hand slide down towards your ankle maybe. And then reach to come up and out. Taking that hand down, you switch sides, reaching up. Option to follow your hand with your gaze. And then reach to come up and out. And then we can make the pattern a little more circular. So coming to the first side, side bending, and then you just let this hand dip down over your head. I start to follow my gaze down and to the other side. And then the opposite arm is what lifts me up and out of this sequence. So you can go a couple rounds in this direction, and then we'll switch the circular direction we're moving. And you're just taking this in a range of motion that you are enjoying this morning, doing as much as feels good with your neck, right? So you can really choose to follow the moving arm with your gaze or not. Okay, the next time you come up, let's switch directions, doing about 3 of these big circles in the opposite direction now, just starting to move our spine in all different ways that we can sort of, we get very linear, moving forward and back, and now we're just incorporating more dimensional movements, more directions here. Good. Okay, one more time. Good. Okay. And then just maybe bring your feet a little closer together. Notice your breathing. Good. Okay. And then we'll come and stand up. From here, you just need your resistance band. So you can move your chair out of your way. And grab a length of band. And we'll take the band into your first side first and take it up and over your head and behind your head. And then take your other hand behind you. And I'm using my left arm on top first. Take your feet wide apart and turn your feet out into external rotation. And then try to resist your head and back body against your hand. And lengthen your tailbone a little bit down towards the floor. And then you can be walking your hands together a bit on the band and then give a little pull out on the band to make this harder. And then from here, you'll just start to track your knees over your toes and coming down into a goddess squat, doing your best to not overly lean forward. Good. And then coming down, hold here, pull a little bit out on the band. And if you have a resistance band, you could pull your elbows out to shoulder height, and then elbows pointing back up to the ceiling and down to the floor. So you could play a little bit with this, trying to hover the band off your back body. Try to pull your knees back to the wall behind you. Good. And then pause and reach your elbow up, elbow down. Get a little lower. And then release. Turn your feet parallel and melt your arms down. And then just make some circles with your hips. And you can keep these as shallow or as big as feels good. You are in charge here. And then we'll switch the band to the opposite hand, taking it up and behind your head. And then the bottom arm comes back. You hold the band as close as you comfortably can with a little resistance out. And then again, externally rotate your feet, strengthen the front abdominal wall, and lower down, up and down a few times. And then we'll stay in the squat. Strong front abdominal wall, knees pulling back, big toes heavy. You could pull a little out on the band, pull the band a little away from your back body, and then maybe coming out shoulders towards, or elbows towards shoulder height. This side is so much harder for me. I have, less range of motion and internal rotation on this side. So just being curious if the two sides are different for you. 2 more breaths. Good. Okay, and then we'll release. Turn your feet parallel, melt the arms, and again, circle your hips. Do we go both directions? Make sure you go both directions. And circling back. This can start to get a little bigger as long as this feels great, happy in your low back. This is a hip move, not a low back move. Anterior abdominal wall is supporting you in that. Good. Okay, and then let's just stand in Tadasana for a moment. And have the length of your strap and your hands behind you. And I'm holding it so that my fingernails kind of wrap around the strap. Oh, the sunlight is, so you can't see that. So the fingernails are looking back towards you here. And then staying in a nice strong Tadasana, grow tall. Hold on the strap so you can pull a little bit out on it and reach it back. And you just lift it as high as you can without pushing the breastbone forward. So re-stabilize between breastbone and pubic bone as you reach the strap back. And we're staying in a pain-free range of motion. And then melt that down. Good. Okay, we'll take warrior 2 pose. So I guess here I will use my rights and lefts. I'm going to go to the left side first and come into the lunge just as you're ready, kicking the right heel back. And then we'll take the left arm up and the right arm down. The lunging leg, that arm goes up, back leg, arm goes down. And you can give a little resistance out. And I'm just doing my best that my pelvis is facing a little towards the front leg, rib cage is turning to face towards the wide edge of the mat. And you're just slowly seeing if you can go a little lower in your lunge, keeping the floor of your pelvis level with the floor. And just remembering from Goddess that we are waking up the outer hips, finding strength from your outer knee to outer hip on your front leg, strength at the front abdominal wall. So a little bit resisting head and upper back into your arms. If you're tired of Gomkhasana arms, then take a break from this too. Good. Okay, we'll straighten the leg and relax the arms. Internally rotate your front foot, and we'll switch to the second side, externally rotating the opposite side. So I'm doing right foot forward, right hand goes high, left arm slides up my back for Gomkhasana arms, and lowering into the lunge. And just, enjoying the sensations throughout your body. Go to a place that feels workable. You can pull a little tension on the strap as you want to work more. Your hips are facing a little towards the front leg, strong anterior abdominal wall, and then your chest it's a little rotation turning towards the side of your mat. Are you breathing? Good. Okay. And then we'll release. Turn your feet in, set your strap down. I like a little narrower stride for our Prasarita Padottanasana, or wide-legged forward fold. So your feet are parallel, you're lifting your pelvis up over the legs. You could always have props for your hands as you'd like. And then with your hands under your shoulders, you can take a moment to lengthen your breastbone forward. Fill the inner lining of your body with your breathing. And then, options to walk the hands forward or round deeper into the pose, walking the hands in line with your feet and letting the crown of your head extend towards the floor. And then just noticing the quality of your breathing here. Good. Okay, and then just taking your time coming with the hands into your shoulders. You can toe heel your feet together first or stand first and then bring the feet together. And then sweep the arms up and overhead. Just let them float up. Take a breath. And the arms float down. All right. Thanks for practicing with me today.